A friend of mine gave me one day a cassette tape. That's how long ago it was, because it wasn't because it was cool or hip. That's what you had. So he gave me this cassette tape, and it was a tape on Christian leadership, which is the last thing that I wanted to hear. And I didn't listen to it for a long time. And at first I was kind of angry at my friend because I thought he understood where I was at, and that what I didn't need was more noise from religion telling me what I should be doing. But one day I decided, because he was a friend, I should listen to this tape. So I put the tape in my car, and the speaker began, and he opened with these words. He said, "The task of the Christian minister," and I just switched off because I just didn't need to know one more person telling me what it was. But he said, "The task of the Christian minister is to guard the great questions." And it was that part of the sentence, guarding the great questions, that stopped me. Because like many people, I came of age in a religion of answers, where you didn't even know that you didn't need to know the questions, because Jesus was the answer to everything. So don't worry about it, it's just Jesus is the answer. You know, there was a bumper sticker, Jesus is the answer. So there are no questions, there's just answers. And religion was all about giving you answers to life. But I had questions. I had questions that troubled me, that interested me, that confused me, that conflicted me, that made me interested in life. And so, and I don't know, I can't remember anything else about that tape at all. That's all I needed to hear. It was one of those little moments where everything changes. And on the basis of that, I kind of started to reclaim some things in my life. And I went, okay, so what are the great questions? And there are lots of ways to answer that. You know, I think there are great questions that we could all identify as common to humanity. But what I took it was, well, what are the questions that I need to guard? What are the questions that I need to be asking? And I realized, as I thought through that those were a set of questions that were very important to me, but they weren't really being addressed in the environments that I was in. It seemed that they weren't particularly questions that the church was interested in asking. But I decided that those were the questions that I was going to ask, because those were the questions that were giving form and shape to my life. So that began a series of movements in my life. It created chaos, because I kind of began a process of just rejecting so many things, to get down to a more raw and personal and kind of organic place in life. And since then, I've just been essentially asking those questions again and again and again. And the funny thing is that I'm not even necessarily worried about whether or not I get answers. I just keep asking the questions, and the questions alone are enough.